Jazzcast Pros.
Welcome back to another episode of Fearless Fridays with Maryann. Today we're diving into an exciting world of entrepreneurship as we wrap up season 7. Whether you are starting out or thinking about taking the leap, this season has been for you, and we truly hope that you found this season to be valuable and full of insights to help you navigate the journey of entrepreneurship. I want to talk about 5 key points for you to focus on as you take the leap to entrepreneurship, or if you make adjustments in your business that you are currently working on. So the 5 key points are: point number 1, having a positive mindset. Number 2, thorough planning. Number 3, building a strong network. Number 4, financial management. Number 5, customer focus. And then I will finish up with 4 tips to help you take action today so you can ensure your success. Welcome to Fearless Fridays with Maryann, the podcast to help you get unstuck, heal your inner child, and reshape your future. I am your host, Maryann Rivera-Dannert, and with over 10 years of experience as a coach, author, speaker, and owner of MRD Empowerment Solutions, I use my personal life experience with trauma, healing, and rediscovery as a catalyst for personal growth. My mission is to empower you to discover and unlock your full potential, paving the way to a life marked by freedom and balance. Together, we'll tackle the tough stuff and find the strength within to rise above. So going back to key point number 1, mindset matters. So it's important that you have a growth mindset. Embrace the challenges as opportunities to learn. Understand that failures are a part of the process and a stepping stone to success. Sometimes when you try to do something, it doesn't always necessarily work out the first time that you strive to do it. But it's important that instead of looking at the challenges as failures, that you look at them as opportunities. Look at what worked, look at what did not work, and make the necessary adjustments and continue pressing forward. So embrace the challenges as opportunities to continue growing, making the necessary changes, and pursuing your passions and your dream. Don't let the fact that something did not work immediately stop you from moving forward on your journey. Number 2, entrepreneurship is filled with ups and downs. So it's important to develop resilience, which will help you bounce back from setbacks as you stay focused on your goals. So again, you are going to face ups and downs. Things are going to work. Things are not going to work. You're going to use these opportunities to learn and to pivot, to make adjustments, because again, things don't always work out the first time. You are going to have your goals. You're going to pursue them. Things are not going to work out. You're going to pause. You're going to reflect, and you're going to make the necessary changes. You're going to get back up, and you're going to once again press forward, and you're going to once again experience some setbacks. You're going to pause. You're going to reflect, and you're going to make the necessary changes as you continue going. And the more that you do this, the stronger your resilient spirit is going to get stronger, and you're going to learn, and you're going to stay positive, and you're going to be able to embrace things. Remember that when things don't necessarily work out and you have to make adjustments, you're not starting from point 0. You're starting from the point that you left off, because along the process, you are learning things. So you are learning what's working and what's not working. And the third step within this first key point of having a positive mindset is self-belief. Confidence in your abilities is crucial. It's important to believe in your vision and trust that you have what it takes. If you were to give up the first time that something did not work out, how would you know if you have given it your all? You have to continue pressing forward, and you have to continue to believe in your abilities, because again, confidence and resilience are kind of like a muscle. You know, your biceps, your triceps, your quads, those are muscles, and they get stronger and they get bigger the more that you use them, the more that you continue to practice, the more that you lift those weights, the stronger these muscles get. So The more that you work on your confidence and you work on your resilience, the more that you learn and you grow and you make adjustments along the way and continue moving forward. Do not give up, the stronger your confidence is going to get. Key point number 2 is thorough planning. So it's important that you have a strong business plan. A well thought out business plan is your roadmap. It should include your mission, your vision, your goals, market analysis, and your financial projections. So I like to look at this kind of like if you're taking a cross-country trip driving. You don't know how to get to, if you live in New York on the East Coast, you're trying to get to California on the West Coast, you can't just get into a car and just start driving. You have to have a plan. You have to have your GPS coordinates correct. You have to know where you are going so you can plan your trip. So it's important that you have a clear vision, a clear mission, which your mission is how you're going to achieve your vision. So your vision is your end all, is your end goal. And the mission, these are things that you're going to do on a daily basis that are going to guide you towards your vision. Make sure that you have a, strong market analysis, your research. Who is your ideal client? Which we'll talk about that in a minute. But who is your ideal client? What problem is it that your ideal client is struggling with and how you can help them out? So this leads me to point number 2 is research. Understand your market, competitors, and your target audience. The more that you know, the better prepared you will be to make informed decisions. So when it comes to your ideal client, what is it that your client is struggling with? What is their pain point? And what solution is it that you offer that is going to help your client solve their problem? And it's also important to know who your competitors are. And this is not necessarily to compare yourself to them, but why should your client come to you versus your competitor? So make sure that you are focused and you are honed in to the solution that you're offering to make sure that the clients come to you and not someone else. And also it's important for you to be flexible. Be ready to pivot when necessary. The business landscape can be very challenging, can be very tricky. And in this day and age, we are seeing entrepreneurs pop out of every which way direction, whether it's leadership coaches, whether it's motivational coaches, transformational coaches, life coaches, whether it is individuals that want to open up a restaurant, whether it's becoming whatever entrepreneurship venture there is, there are entrepreneurs sprouting up by the thousands. And it's important that you stay up to date with what's working, with what's not working, with industry standards. And again, make sure that you are flexible and make the necessary changes so you can pivot as the industry changes because you want to stay relevant and you want to stay up to date. Key point number 3 is building a strong network. So this includes mentorship. Make sure that you seek out mentors who have experience in your desired industry. Their guidance can help you avoid pitfalls and accelerate your growth. And this is also important to make note of, that these mentors don't necessarily have to be individuals that you personally know. Some of my mentors are social media coaches, leaders that I have not met personally. However, I have seen their growth. I have been following them for years, and I'm able to learn from them and learn, take away from their insights that they offer, to make sure that I don't make the same mistakes. Or if I'm struggling with something, I can glean into how they would resolve the issue. What would they do? So it's important that you keep in mind that your mentors don't necessarily have to be individuals that you personally know. Look at people, in the platform, social media that you follow, that you are intrigued and that you are interested in. And if these are individuals that one day you aspire to be like, make sure that you follow them, that you tap in. Sometimes they offer free resources, workshops, seminars, masterminds, and things like that. And that you stay up to date because, again, you're learning from them. They have been where you are. So you can avoid some of the mistakes that they have made and things like that. Also, network. Networking to connect with other entrepreneurs, potential partners, clients, industry experts, and so forth. And also networking can open doors to new opportunities and collaborations. And when it comes to networking, make sure that you stay true to yourself. Don't try to copy other people or try to, fake it till you make it. Be authentic to who you are. Because when you are authentic to who you are and you stick to your goals, your values, what you stand for, you are going to attract the right people. You're going to attract the right connections, opportunities, and collaborations. If you try to fake it, you're becoming someone that you are not. And therefore, you are going to attract people, places, and things that are not going to necessarily stick by you because you are attracting these individuals on a false pretenses. So make sure that you connect to individuals on a authentic and genuine level. And also make sure that you hone down your 15 to 30 second elevator pitch. Basically, when somebody asks you, what do you do? That you are very clear in who you are, what you do, what you solve, and why someone should work with you. Because if you start stumbling, like I just did right now, if you start stumbling on your words, you're going to lose the opportunity. Because again, people that have the means, that have the connections, that have the opportunities to offer you, their time is like one of their biggest top resources, and they don't have time to waste. So make sure that you are very clear on your elevator pitch. So when the opportunity arises, you are ready. And then point number 3 of building a strong network is community. Surround yourself with like-minded individuals. Joining entrepreneur groups or online communities can provide support and inspiration. Again, make sure that you are surrounded by the right people, places, and things, people that elevate you, people that when they know what your goals are, when they know what your passions are, question you when they see that you're not working in your purpose, when you are doing things that don't align with what your goals are, and that they're not afraid to call you on that. And in the same token, that you respect them enough to acknowledge that, yeah, you're right. I said I was going to be doing ABC, but here I am doing XYZ. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. I need to be surrounded with the right people, places, and things. So if you are trying to grow a business, it is going to take some time. It's not always, that it's going to happen overnight. Sometimes we see these rag to riches stories, but the thing about it is that you see 5 seconds of their rags story, and then all of a sudden you see their riches, but you don't know everything in between that they had to go through and make changes and pivot, start over, and things like that to get to where they are today. So make sure that you are surrounded by the right individuals that are going to challenge you in a loving and supportive manner to get you to where you need to be. Key point number 4 is financial management. Budgeting. Make sure that you keep a close eye on your finances. Create a budget that is going to cover all of your expenses and stick to it. It's also important that you separate your money. Make sure that you have a business bank account to keep your personal money separate from your business money. And also make sure that you are financial literate, that you educate yourself on financial management, that you understand cash flows and profit margins, that you're investing in strategies is crucial for long-term success. Just because there are experts out there that, for example, like a CPA that can manage your money and things like that, you need to have a basic understanding of how money works so you are not taken advantage of. Because I'm pretty sure that you have heard stories from many professional, famous people that their financial managers have taken advantage of them and have exploited them and have stolen from them. So you want to be able to educate yourself on financial management so you can have a basic understanding of how money works. The last key point to focus on is customer focus. Number 1, know your customers. So understanding their needs, their preferences, their pain points is very important. I just talked about this. Make sure that you are very clear on the issues, the problems that your ideal audience is struggling with and how you can solve that problem. Where does your audience hang out? What do they read? what platform are they on? That's something that sometimes entrepreneurs struggle with, is trying to decide like what platform should you be on, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Snapchat, LinkedIn, and so many others. There's no need for you to be on TikTok and Twitter, for example, if your ideal client is on Facebook and LinkedIn, for example. So make sure that you know that you're very clear on understanding your customers' needs, what their preferences are, where they hang out, and that's where you need to be. And also make sure that you're mindful of customer feedback, which is invaluable for improving your product and your services. Customer service is also very important. Exceptional customer service can set you apart from your competitors. Again, this is something that I talked about a few minutes ago. It's not that you are comparing yourself to them, but you want to make sure that you're setting yourself apart because you want your ideal client to come to you and not somebody else. So happy customers are likely to become repeat customers, and they will also talk about you to other people because word of mouth when it comes to being an entrepreneur is like gold. So a happy customer will talk about you to other people and be a referral source. And make sure that you understand that you know your value proposition. Clearly communicate the unique value that your product or your service offers. And make sure that your customers understand why they should choose you over other people. And it's also important that when you're just starting out, you're not going to stay the same in 60 days, 90 days, a year, 5, 10 years from where you started out. As you grow and as you get good at what you're doing and your platform grows, your customer base grows, you need to adjust for the times, you need to adjust for your growth and so forth. So make sure that you are always incorporating moments of reflection and review so you can see where you started, where you currently are, where you aspire to be and go, and what changes need to go. And this is also going to help you when it's time to make your first hire, whether it's, an intern or somebody on a part-time basis. But when you take time to slow down, reflect, and evaluate, you're able to see where adjustments need to make, to see how your growth is going and what you need to change and improve on. And when it's time to hire somebody to take on some of the things that no longer should be under you. So as we get ready to wrap up, I am going to talk about 4 tips to ensure that you are staying successful. Number 1, stay persistent. Entrepreneurship is a marathon. It is not a sprint, and I'm sure that you have heard this many times. Make sure that you stay committed to your vision, even when you are faced with challenges. There are going to be times when you're starting out that you may not have a sale. No one is going to like your post. No one is going to buy from you. No one is going to share what you're putting out there. And it's going to bring in that little imposter syndrome, that little voice that's going to be nagging and is going to start making you question who you are, what you're doing. But it's important that you stay committed to your vision. Why did you decide to become an entrepreneur? Why did you decide to write the book, to start the business? Whatever business venture you are leading, down that path, why did you decide to do this? Again, when your mission and your vision and your goals are clear, they are going to help you when you get those moments of not feeling that you're not good enough and those voices of doubt start to creep in. So again, make sure that you stay persistent, that you stay committed to your vision, your mission, and your goals, even when you're faced with challenges, because believe me, those challenges will appear and you don't want to be caught off guard. Number 2, keep learning. Continuous learning is very important. Stay up to date with industry trends, new technologies, and best practices. Again, especially like right now, a lot of people are tapping into AI. And believe me, there is nothing wrong with using AI because personally, I use AI. But it's important that you make the necessary changes to make sure that your voice is the one that is speaking louder than that of a computer. So keep learning, stay connected. You need to be your biggest investment in life. So investing in yourself, whether it's a career coach, whether it's a business coach, whether it's taking a mastermind, make sure that you are always learning and investing in yourself. Number 3, balance. Maintain a healthy work-life balance. Burnout can hinder your productivity and creativity. When you are starting out as an entrepreneur, yes, it's important that you are always working and that you are pushing product out, social media posts out, and that you are staying seen in the, social media world. But at the same time, it's also important that you take some time for rest. Do something that's fun, that's outside of your business. And if you are somebody that has a regular 9-to-5 job, which I know those are few and, far and few in between. It's usually probably like 8 till 6 or something like that versus 9-to-5. But if you are starting a side job, if you are striving to become an entrepreneur and you're doing this on the side of having a regular job that you're working for somebody else, it's that much more important that you set time aside. Even if it's just one day a week that you are not doing anything, that you're not working on your business, that you're not working on your regular job, because you need time to take care of your mind, body, and soul. So make sure that you put time for self-care on your calendar every single day, whether it's 10 minutes a day, 5 minutes a day, an hour a day, whatever you can fit in, you should be doing some self-care every single day, because this will ensure that you are maintaining a healthy work-life balance and that you do not struggle with burnout. Because if you're not mindful of this, this is something that can overtake you. And when you get burnout, when you start feeling like, oh my gosh, do I want to do this again? It's time for me to work on this. It's time for me to work on that. If whatever you're working at, if it does not excite you and you're wondering if you could be doing something else, then maybe it's time for you to go back to your mission and your vision and what your goals are. Read those again and make sure that they still make sense and make sure that they are still relevant. And if they are not, ask yourself why and what changes you need to make. And again, this is when having the right community and support group is important, because this may be also time for you to tap into that network and that group of supporters and talk to them about how you're feeling. Have they ever felt that way? And what have they done to get out of the rut? Tip number 4 is measure and adjust. Regularly evaluate your progress. Use metrics to measure your success and be willing to adjust your strategies as needed. Sometimes as entrepreneurs, for example, like myself, when I first got into becoming a coach, I started out, my first, entrepreneurial venture was being a photographer. And I did that for a while and I was doing everything in photography. And when I say everything, I literally mean everything. I was doing weddings, engagements, family pictures, portraits, headshots, landscapes. I was doing everything and I was getting burnt out because photography used to be my way of relaxing and escaping. And somebody, hired me to do the family pictures. And from there, it became a business. But it was no longer bringing me joy because I was literally working 7 days a week between my regular job and then on the weekends and evenings doing photography work. It was just too much. So I put that aside. In connection with working with my business coach, I became a life coach. Then I became an author. And then I just continued growing from there. And then I got the podcast. Now the magazine. And lately I've actually have been wondering if coaching is something that I want to continue on. Life coaching. I love working, with leaders and doing more of the mid-level leadership coaching. So it's something that I'm currently evaluating. Just because you are good at something does not necessarily mean that it needs to continue. Make sure that what you do continue with is what brings you joy. What is something that you can start working on? What aspect of your business you get lost? You start working at 8 o'clock in the morning and the next time you look up at the clock, it's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. That's something that brings you joy. That's something that gets your creative juices going and flowing and you lose track of time. So make sure that you regularly evaluate your progress, see what's working, what's not working, what's bringing you joy, and make the necessary adjustments as needed. So this wraps up season number 7, Entrepreneurship Journey. And today's episode talked about 5 key points on your embracing the entrepreneurial journey. Number 1, mindset matters. Number 2, thorough planning. Number 3, building a strong network. Key point number 4, financial management. And key point number 5, customer focus. And the 4 tips to ensure your success: stay persistent, keep learning, balance, measure, and adjust. So I thank you so much for joining me on this season of Entrepreneur Journeys of the Fearless podcast with Maryann, focused on being an entrepreneur. So we hope that the personal experiences from our guests over this last season has given you some points, some tips on moving forward in your journey. Remember that the entrepreneurial process is unique for everyone, but with the right mindset, thorough planning, a strong network, sound financial management, and a strong customer focus, you can pave the way to success. Make sure that you've subscribed to the podcast on your favorite podcast platform and come back for season 8 as we continue speaking to authors, entrepreneurs, and individuals just like you, overcoming obstacles, doing the work, paying it forward, facing their fears, and doing it anyways. Until next time, keep striving and thriving, and remember that you are a priority and you matter. Thank you for tuning into today's episode. If you enjoyed the conversation, be sure to leave a 5-star review and share with a friend or two. If you're not already following us on social media, come join the Fearless community at MRD Empowerment Solutions on Facebook or Instagram, or visit our website, MaryanN-Rivera-Dannert.com. I'll catch you next week with a new episode, and remember that you are a priority and you matter.